you saved on your motel, but you paid $100 over. I mean, at the last place I went to, I might have paid too much for that, but you couldn't dicker with that. The first place that I went to was a place that you could tell that you could dicker a little bit, you could deal. But the fancier a place looks like, it's like you can't really do that. They've got so much money into the building. I don't think it's a good idea to maybe make it too fancy, because now you got all this overhead. The first place was just basically a shanty, and that's the best place to go. As long as they have some good material, that's the best place. I think that's the best setup. You're going there to get rocks, not to look at the woodwork and the fancy place. I don't need to pay for that. I mean, the casino, it's nice that looks nice. If you're only going to eat there, that's a nice place. But if you're just digging, you don't need to have a real nice place. You're going in there in your boots, and you're working. You're trying to get some crystals out of the ground. And the more it's refined, the less of a deal you're going to get. And in fact, I don't think it was as good of a deal. I kind of spent maybe more than I should have. But the reason why I spent so much is because there's stuff you can do with these. I mean, it'll give me something to do when it's winter time or fall or whatever. I can maybe polish some of these. Maybe it'll, if I polish it, I can get some of the value out of it. I might be able to make some, maybe I could even sell them. Or give them away as gifts or something like that. They give me something to do. Whereas the clusters, there's not a lot you can do. I mean, you got to clean the clusters some, but there's not like a huge amount of work. You can't change those too much. You might be able to trim them a little bit, but there's not a lot you can do. The more you're going to do to a cluster, the more risk you're going to take at ruining it. But these chunks, I could shape them with my diamond grinding wheel, and then I could run those other wheels on them, and I could polish them. I could shape them and stuff. It might be fun to do. I mean, it might turn out that they're really nice. But I think that the value that I'm going to get out of them is the work that I'm going to put into them. I don't know. Looking back, I don't know if it's really that. I wouldn't go back again unless I really got some nice stuff out of it. I think it's a little overpriced. I think they're charging too much. I think I probably spent a bit too much money. It was fun to do, but it's kind of the reject pieces, I think, that they had out there. Because if that's all they're getting out of there, I don't think that's all they're getting out of that, is that stuff that we were looking through. I think what we were looking through is the stuff that it was just kind of the scrap or whatever. And I asked the guy, I says, there's some that's cut in there. Like, how could it be cut? And it was cut with a fine saw, not with the rough saw. And he says, oh, I cut that, and then I threw the pieces in the aisle. So some of the stuff in there is just junk. I took one to see if I could, what I could do with it. I was thinking maybe I could polish it because it's already got a flat surface on it, just to see what the material. Maybe I'll start off with that one and polish it when I get home. I might work on that when I get home even, and I'll just see, okay, what kind of polish can you get out of this before cutting into a new piece. I mean, it's just a small piece, but it's $6 a pound. I don't know if that's 6 Canadian or 6 American, but it's $6 a pound. It'd probably come out to be about 5 in American dollars if it was 6 Canadian. But it's 12, is it 12 Canadian? It might be 12 Canadian for the fee to go in, and then that comes out to about 10. They gave you 10. I mean, that, I mean, it was kind of, then you had to, basically you were paying him to talk for 20 minutes or 10 minutes. That's kind of a, I don't think that's worth it to pay $10 for that, but maybe these people don't really make enough. I don't know. If they don't, then I wouldn't mind giving it to them. I guess, you know, you're getting the rock, and someday that rock will be, maybe it'll be gone someday. So maybe it's worth it. I guess I just don't want to, like, realize, oh yeah, you bought a bunch of stuff that's not worth anything. A bunch of scrap. But I wonder if that stuff could run out. If they could mine it all out of there. Because I've seen crystals from the Blue Point mine, which is the first one I went to. And, you know, you type that in, type in Blue Point Amethyst, and you'll get stuff from that mine. But it might be older. The stuff that comes up, it might be older stuff, some of it, that people are selling in the secondary market. Or it might be stuff from that mine that they're selling now. They may have I didn't ask them, but they may have a eBay page. But they could run out, too, of the crystals. I wonder if they could. Of the higher quality stuff. I mean, they're down there. You can see them down there. I got videos of them down there working. But they say that the silver that's coming out of the ground it's harder to get. Even though they have higher technology, it's 110 to move. That tree needs to be trimmed. If that's the case, the stuff that we have could go up in value. But if that's the case, people being able to do what I'm doing, you won't be able to do it anymore. Everything it'll get to be a collector's item, and you'll be lucky to just find a purple rock in the ground. The stuff will go down in quality, and the crystals will end up becoming a kind of a valuable thing. The thing is, those crystals, they actually can lose their color if you leave them sit out in the sun, and they